Hi everybody, welcome to this general walkthrough video for the Shiruba Springs 9-hole cup. We have a full 9 holes of the Shiruba Springs coming up next week in the game, and as always this video is designed to give you a general overview of the holes. We'll have the diagrams on screen with suggested routes and general elevations. Obviously in tournament, due to wind strength and direction, the elevations that you'll want to be playing with will vary depending on the circumstance, but this is designed to give you a good overview of what we will be dealing with. Okay, before we carry on, don't forget, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Make sure you get the bell button enabled as well, so you get notifications of when we go live, and don't forget also to hit the thumbs up on the video. Next week I will be playing all divisions in the Shiruba Springs 9-hole cup with 2 lots of master content as well. Going to try and get through with free-to-play balls as well, like the last time. That will be on Thursday morning, so please do join us for that. Okay, let's start then with hole number 1. Okay, start with the par 4 here. Black line is my preferred route, which I will take in crosswind, and especially if we have some tailwind as well. Bouncing where the red cross is, 10% elevation, so bouncing before the bunker with some topspin, and you might want a bit of left spin as well, especially if you have left to right wind taking you down that little piece of fairway in the center. That will then leave you with a long iron to the pin usually, and we have been using Grizzly there for good ball guide. The alternate route is the white line on the right of the hole, and that's the route I will play if we get any form of headwind. However, it is important to note this is a long par 4. If you find yourself in the fairway bunker or in the rough near the tip of that first white arrow from your drive, if you're playing right side, you are going to have difficulty reaching the green in 2, especially if we do have any form of headwind on this par 4. Hole number 2 then, and the first of the par 3s. Got 2 elevations on screen here. Plus 10 for front tee, which is why it's coloured green for rookie. Plus 20 I use for pro and expert, middle tee and rear tee as well. And they're slightly higher up. So usual, going to be playing the black line here in pretty much all scenarios. That's my preferred route. And we're going to be playing with some backspin, and the pin is just above the tip of that black arrow. Can't see it on this because this is quite an old picture before they'd released the pin placements, but you're going to use some backspin, and the green does slope down slightly from the top right corner towards the pin. So my usual advice here is to come in from the right hand side rather than left, because you will roll down to the pin very nicely with some backspin. Blue cross just to the left of the arrow does indicate a rough bump, but obviously this is risky. You're going to need to play with accurate clubs and accurate adjustments if you want to take that on, and be careful when you are adjusting for that. Obviously with the bunkers nearby, loss of elevation can affect your adjustment. It's not a shot I've played that much at all. I favour the fairway standard shot, but there is a rough bump there if you so wish to attempt it. Hole number 3 then, the first of the par 5s, and as you can see from the picture of the screen, this is a very difficult and also lengthy par 5, as all of them are really in the Shiruba Springs. Several routes here. Black line is the most usual one, but this is difficult to get the green in 2, especially if we have awkward wind. Usually I bounce where the small red cross is, 10% extra, but you might want to go a bit more if you have strong tailwind. Obviously driver with topspin, very good here. Big topper or Thor's hammer, both very useful to have. Try and get as far down as you can on that fairway without risking the rough. From there you've got 2 options really. The black line is the usual one. I would suggest going with a 180 yard wood club, but definitely one with a lot of topspin. So if you've got high level Cataclysm, Big Dog, or indeed if you don't have those in high level, go with the Horizon because it has great ball guide and a lot of topspin, and you'll need that to get close to the green. May not get there in 2, may need to have a short iron or a wedge to get up to the green at the end with -10, but otherwise the second shot with the wood club played 10% extra. The blue line there does show a route for a rough bump, which we did have in Expert a while ago. With the Cataclysm, lots of topspin to take you to the pin, but only going to work in certain wind directions because you will be at max distance of the Cataclysm. The red arrow here, the curved arrow bottom left, is showing you a route that I tried, a few other people I knew did last time as well in this tournament when we had this hole, was the power slice there. I can't quite remember which club it was. I've got a feeling we managed it with extra mile 7, to be honest, and above. But that's a very useful route as well. But as with all power hooks and power slices, it does depend on you having a decent amount of wind and also the right direction, because they're always risky shots. But that's some possibilities there for the first of the par 5s. That is hole number 3. Hole number 4 then is another par 3, and just going to give you an overview here before we zoom in on the picture to show you where the tee boxes are. Green arrow starts from front tee, which is rookie, then you do have pro and expert, and the master one you can see is way further back, but the rookie tee, slightly different line, so a slightly different approach is needed. And as we can see here, let's just zoom in on that. Rookie has more of a straight line to the green, going slightly left of the bunker with 10% elevation there. And from pro and expert, the middle tee, the blue line, I usually bounce to the right of the bunker with the long iron, with varying amount of backspin depending on what the wind direction is. And that one I would usually also play 10%. Reason I put 20 there is also for third tee. Master Division, you may want to play with a little bit more elevation. But not too many different approaches here, just standard bounce. No rough bumps available, just normal bounce ups and approaches. But important to get the speed right here, but a decent chance at a hole-in-one on hole number 4. Hole number 5 then. Again, 2 routes here depending wind directions and also tees, and don't forget I will be playing all divisions next week on the channel on Thursday morning, so make sure you do join us for that. Black line here is very good, sets up a second shot rough bump. So with the drive you want to be using top spin, bit of right spin, and then you're going to bounce where the red cross is, roll towards that fairway bunker there, slightly to the right of the fairway, and then that is going to leave you either a grizzly long iron rough bump up to the cup for a hopeful eagle, or if you're a little bit further away and on certain wind directions, you will be playing that with a sniper. Varying elevations on the second shot. General, I would say, is 0%. If the wind is not in favour of that, you can play with topspin, bouncing over on the left-hand side, which will leave you a more straightforward kind of standard fairway shot to the green. So you've got a couple of options there, but usually I play the drive at +10, second shot 0, but very, very good chance at eagle if you feel brave enough to take on the rough bump. Hole number 6 then, another difficult par 5. I'm going to talk about the blue line first. This one is interesting. I have played this route in rookie with tailwind and a power 3 ball, might even have been a power 5. Using the wind push to our advantage, bouncing over onto that small island and then over onto the main strip of fairway midway down on the right. Might also be worth a shout in expert as well if you get a very strong tailwind. Alternatively, the route that you will want to be using is the black line. This is a very, very difficult drive and one that I've had difficulty with in the past. It's important to get the curl right, so you are going to need a driver with curl. Apocalypse here from second and third tee is vital. And you will also need power 3 ball as well from middle tee. 10% extra on the drive. You want to bounce with top spin and left spin with left curl to get to where the tip of that first black arrow is, halfway down the picture. But like I said, you've got to judge the curl right here, and different wind directions are going to give you a fairly hefty wind push on the second bounce, so make sure you build that in to your shot. Second shot there from the middle of that fairway, you've got a couple of options. You can do a rough bump in the strip of rough before the green. It is slightly uphill to the green from there, but you are going to watch out for the little bit of a glitch. It's very easy for this ball to be kicked left and it will plummet into the bunker just before the green. So it is a risky shot, that rough bump, but it is one that a lot of people do play. The alternate one is you just do a straight bounce up, land the ball before that big strip of rough and just bounce it over and use some topspin to roll up to the green. But it is important to get the speed right here. You don't want to be too long, and also you don't want to be too short and risk getting stuck in the rough either front or back of the green. So another tricky par 5 where an accurate drive is vital, because you will not reach the green in 2 if you land in the rough, unless you are blessed with very fortunate tailwind for the second shot. Hole number 7 now is the last of the par 4s. Black line for me is the best route here in terms of chance at an eagle. I will be using a accurate driver here. Quarterback or the rock is ideal, bouncing where that red cross is over the rough with backspin, and this is why you need a good accurate driver with good ball guide, so you don't risk going into the rough. And then you're going to be faced with a second shot sniper rough bump, and this is a very, very good chance at an eagle. 20% on the drive. Got some interesting elevations here. And then the second shot, if you're going for that rough bump, usually plays at plus 25%. And it's a very nice little downhill run towards the cup. If you don't fancy that, and you've got a different wind direction where that isn't possible, then you've got the white line, which is a more straightforward approach. One we have actually used in Master recently as well. Bouncing over with some topspin, and then that will leave you a more standard fairway bounce up to the green. Usually I would play this in tour play 0%, maybe plus 10, but as I said at the beginning, the elevations are going to vary depending what the wind is doing in terms of strength, and direction might well affect what adjustment you want to play with. But there's a general guide for hole number 7. The final par 3 now, which is hole number 8. Few options here depending how you want to play it, and the tee boxes are slightly different angles to each other as well. Black line here is going to be usually rookie, pro, and also master, as well as expert of course. Bouncing on the fairway where the red cross is and just playing your standard shot. The blue cross just upper left of that is going to illustrate a rough bump. I'm not a huge fan of this rough bump, but some people have played it very, very successfully. It is obviously a risky shot, but a really good chance for a hole-in-one, because obviously rough bump is going to eliminate the secondary wind bounce, wind push effect. So you're bouncing there, obviously need to be careful of your adjustment though. If you're going to adjust into the sand, you will drop down, so you're going to have to make some tweaks and build that into your shot. The white line illustrates a shot we had in Master recently with the sniper, which was a very good chance at hole-in-one as well, bouncing on that little island to the left. General elevations here, usually 10%, but sometimes 20% as well, especially from the rear tee, and also in certain wind conditions from middle tee. You might want to go with a little bit more elevation than 10% on hole number 8. And finally, hole number 9 then. Before we look at the diagram, again, don't forget to hit thumbs up. Please do make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get the bell button as well. We will be streaming plenty of content on the Shiruba Springs 9-hole cup next week in all divisions. And also going to have a look at the practice area as well. I'm going to upload some par 3 videos, especially from the third tee, because I do know that a lot of people like to step up for the mini tournaments. Okay then, hole number 9. Zoomed in on this one, it's another lengthy par 5. Going to need a very good drive here, lots of topspin. Once again, big topper, Thor's hammer, very useful here. And I do think we've also seen a power slice on this one as well, if memory serves me correctly. But black line illustrates the most common approach and less risky approach. Plus 10. But if you do have tailwind, do allow yourself a few rings of room here before the rough, because the tailwind push on this one will carry you directly in the rough if you do not make enough allowance for that. but you want to bounce over, get as much distance as you can on your drive. Second shot, 10%, same as the drive. Now here, you're going to be looking again at a 180 yard wood club, so Big Dog, Cataclysm, whichever one is better and gives you better accuracy and topspin, which is a stat I would really value here, because you're going to be playing on the left-hand piece of fairway with right curl and a lot of topspin to get the ball to roll to the green. You do not want to come in too hot here. You will go long and into the rough on the back, and you don't want to be trying to save your eagle from the rough. If you don't have a decent amount of topspin on those clubs, I would seriously consider having a look at the Horizon. It has a very good ball guide and a lot of topspin, even in lower levels, so that will be a good choice of club for many players on this pretty tricky hole 9 par 5. And to finish, thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you found the video useful. Do let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the Shiruba Springs course, whether you've played it before or if it's going to be new to you. And do ask if you have any questions, and all the best for the 9-hole cup, and I look forward to seeing you on a live stream very soon. Take care, guys. Bye for now.